Hi, Callie. Seth, come in. She smiled and opened the door wider for me. I stepped through and into the small apartment. She had to be doing well for herself if she was living here. Single-acre apartments is not a place for the working class. I followed her to the kitchen area. Welcome to my humble abode, she said with a smile. Hope I didn't scare you away by insisting we meet here. She gave me a look as she unpacked our food. I shook my head as I rolled up my sleeves. I'm not easily scared anyway. They did pique my interest. In this day and age, with it being more and more unsafe to be a woman, especially on the online dating sphere, I was a bit surprised when you wanted us to meet in your house. She chuckled and folded the carry-on bag away. I trust you, she said and chuckled. What? I hope my laugh didn't sound as nervous as it felt. Why? You don't even know me. Had I been that out of the dating sphere? I had basically no dating knowledge, as I'd been in a long-term relationship since I was 16. After Mara broke my heart last year, I was suddenly 27 and single. I hadn't even wanted to contemplate dating. But the guys were tired of me moping around, so here I was. I'd been on a few tentative dates. Callie was the first one I was actually hopeful for. We had a lot in common. She'd been super interesting during our chatting phase, and her in-person beauty had blown me away when we met for a chemistry check coffee run a couple weeks ago. She shrugged. I just do. I have a good feeling about you. She threw me that dazzling smile, and I swallowed. I stood up. Do you need help? She was pulling out plates, and she pointed to me to a drawer to get some trays and a couple of glasses. I thought we'd be moving towards the dining area a few feet away, but she turned towards the door beside the fridge. Aren't we eating here? She gave me a look over her shoulder. Bring the other tray. Let me show you something. We went down a whole flight of stairs. She paused to open another door. I followed her into a dimly lit room. The floor had some sort of glass above water decor. Couldn't tell if it was actually water and fish down there, or a screen of some sort. I whistled. Wow, is that real? I followed her to the table in the middle of the glass floor thing. Yes, it's a perk only us first floor folk have here. Some people have an underground jacuzzi. I opted to put some fish in. You like it? Hell yeah. After dropping the tray, I leaned to watch the beauty. It looked like a coral reef out of this world. Wow. A half hour later, I reclined on her floor pillows, looking at the reflection of the water on the ceiling. Was that nice? She asked across from me, and I gave her a smile. The best. I definitely wouldn't have felt as comfortable if we dined out. Good, was all she said. Something occurred to me. You know, this date did seem familiar somehow. What? She asked, and I looked her way, forcing myself up. Nothing. I just remembered something. I shook my head. No way. This had to be a coincidence. She came closer. What is it? I shrugged. It's just the day is eerily similar to something I described in the text to my friend. I gave a smile. I just think it's fate. She leaned closer. Really? I nodded sluggishly as her breath touched my lips. She closed the gap between us, and our lips locked for one passionate moment, before I felt a sharp sting to my lip and pulled back. Ah! I reached up to touch my lip and it was bleeding. I raised shocked eyes to her, only to see her wipe away some blood from her lips. And lick it? Okay, what the hell? I sat up fast. My head spun for a few seconds. What was that? She smiled, sweet and innocent. Oh, don't worry. She came closer, and her hands began to feel around my face. She took my hand and placed it on her chest, leaning closer for a kiss, but my headache had worsened. I pulled back. She frowned. You okay? She reached for me, but I stayed back. I think I'm coming down with something. Her eyes teared up. Why? Don't you want me? My eyes widened. What? No. I mean, yes, of course. I want you. I'm just not feeling it right now. I said, as I tried to get to my feet, and I lost my footing a few times. How many glasses of wine did I drink? I saw her stand too, but she made no effort to help. I used the table to force myself up. My head spun furiously, while I held my breath and stood still till it passed. Was it just me, or was it darker in here? I stumbled towards the door. I groaned as my gut rolled. I don't feel so good. I staggered up the stairs, and all she did was follow slowly behind me. This was not normal behavior, right? I finally reached the kitchen and leaned against the table. Glad for the brightness in this part of the house. Can you call me an Uber? I looked at her. She shrugged. Sure, and left me. I headed for my phone, which I left on the table earlier, and I felt a tap on my shoulder, and turned only for my head to be hit with a solid object. The combined force, pain, and my previous headache came together to result in a blackout. The last thing I saw was her smiling over me. Of course, she was a psychopath. The guys were never going to let me live this down.
Subscribe today, or